My Tesla Model Y that you're currently watching drive around downtown Ann Arbor has had a problem. For whatever reason, it used to often display the message routing without traffic data, showing that it didn't have an internet connection, even though Tesla uses AT&T for their internet provider, and my phone also uses AT&T, and my phone would have an internet connection even when the car was complaining that it didn't have one. This led to a lot of problems, mostly having to do with routing. Number one, I would put in a destination and the car would call it an unknown destination. It could usually still get directions there, but then it couldn't use traffic data or closed road data to make a competent route to get there. It also seemed like it was starting to cause some GPS drift, where my car thought it was a few feet to the left or right, which would cause it to then believe it was on a different road than it was actually on, and it would go a little crazy, making all kinds of random turns. Although it was still driving itself and successfully getting from point A to point B with those problems, it caused 4 additional issues that made it difficult to accurately assess how the car was performing. Well, the good news is I did take my car to Tesla, and they did replace my connectivity board finally after I requested that service 3 separate times. Now, I don't know why exactly this time that they did it for me, maybe just because I bugged them enough, but I did send them many pictures of my car showing no data, even though AT&T had data in the area. I knew it was the car because our Tesla Model X does not have this problem driving in the same areas, and I made sure to even show them a screenshot of my phone doing a speed test showing AT&T had service while my car was complaining that it had no service. So the point of this drive in downtown Ann Arbor on Full Self-Driving Beta 11.4.4 is to test out my new internet connection that's actually working now. I'm happy to say in my testing in the days since I had that repair, my connectivity board replaced, the car has not been displaying that message anymore. Sometimes when I first boot it up, it'll display the message for a minute, but once it seems to connect to the internet, it does not lose internet connection ever again throughout my driving. I am very thankful this was finally fixed. I don't think it should have taken multiple service visits. I think it should have got fixed right away, but whatever. Sometimes mistakes are made. I'm just happy that now it's fixed. So in the drive you're about to watch, I go through downtown Ann Arbor and I put a lot of different routes in because one of the problems that I would have with this bug is when I would cancel a destination, the car would take a very long time to load the next destination in my route list, which would cause it to, again, mess up, miss a turn, cause it to almost kind of panic turn when it was about to miss a turn when the nav routed, and then it would just kind of swing off to the right or left. Well, now everything is loading extremely quickly. You can see for yourselves in this video. And as we move into this drive, I do have to say a huge thank you to today's video sponsor, Drone Quote. A lot of people ask me about my solar in my home, and if you are looking for solar, I highly recommend Drone Quote. They will send a licensed drone pilot out to survey and kind of check out everything you need. Then they will go through contractors for you and get you the best quote. And one of my favorite things about Drone Quote is not only do they help you before you need the work, after the work is finished, they will come back out and verify that everything was done correctly, everything is looking good with the work that you had done, because they want to make sure that their customers are satisfied and had a good experience with whatever contractor does the job. Drone Quote also has a really nice EV calculator if you're thinking about getting an electric vehicle, so you can see how much energy you're going to use, how much solar you would need to fully power your car from the sun. And I can tell you it is awesome to drive on sunshine, literally free miles. I don't have to pay for fuel when I am charging with solar. It's very cool. So thank you again to Drone Quote. Definitely use the link below and check them out. It is definitely worth having them out to get you multiple quotes and find you the best price for the job you need done. So with that said, enjoy the video. I had a couple issues with some of my files here, so you'll notice it's looking a little different in the beginning and a little bit of the audio may be but it will get better in a minute, I promise. So I think we need to turn right here, and I'll let it turn right before so a big, almost like a turnaround kind of thing. Wow. Perfectly smooth. Awesome. So it's going to stop here because this is where our destination is. So let me make sure if nobody comes behind me, I'll just let it reroute and continue. But there we go. So it stopped where I asked it to. That's exactly our destination. Now it doesn't have much of like a parking feature yet, so it can kind of auto park, but if the pin is not in a parking lot, the car is just going to stop wherever the pin says on the road, and then the human takes over at that point. Hopefully that's coming soon. Elon Musk did say he hopes for actually Smart Summon to come out within 2 or 3 months, but he also told us he was going to come out in 1 month back in December or something. So timelines aren't all that reliable. So I did aim for this train track here. I think I had an email from someone asking me to do some more places where they've seen the car mess up. And so right here, so it's going to go through this red light, and this is exactly what they said. Because there are 2 red lights. There's a red light here and a red light here. The car is basically ignoring this first one. I've actually seen this before and I didn't realize what was happening, but the emailer had suggested that it basically thinks this isn't the red light it's stopping for. It doesn't realize that there's 2 in a row and it's going to go stop for that one. So pretty interesting. I mean, kind of an edge case, I suppose. Not that a human would get confused by this. But I also didn't get the opportunity to voice report it, because when you get close to your destination when you take over, the team assumes, you know, you're taking over because you're going to park or something. And so the voice notes don't pop up in the last tiny little stretch of your drive. So far, in terms of my internet connection, it's doing really, really well. Everything is loading quickly. It is quickly getting those new routes in and rerouting. So once this zooms in, I can see, I think it wants to turn left here. Nope, on the next one. For whatever reason, it didn't want to turn left on that one. But so yeah, I am very happy. And I think this is going to help a lot with all kinds of different situations in terms of the car driving correctly. Right here, this is kind of slightly a blind turn. So you look to the left, there's a building there. I still can't see, and now I can see the road. So I assume the B-pillar is good already, and I mean, handled perfectly. The creep was perfect. If somebody was coming, could have easily hit the brake to wait for them, but there was nobody and the car moved out. So yeah, all these moves, you know, despite sometimes still seeing weirdness or whatever, everything that the car, like, basically what it's good at doing, its capabilities, it's consistently good at. It's still missing some features and needs some extra capabilities in certain areas, but what's been developed is working very well for me so far. So we have some more, a little bit of a backup here. We'll have to wait for this traffic before our left turn. We'll see if the car can get that left turn in time. Wow, okay, so taking that pretty early. Let's see. Wow, this is our left turn. Oh, that was great. That is awesome. There's no reason to wait for that. So, oh, getting a little freaked out here. So it did brake. I saw their door open. I don't know if it was related to that, but it was right as their door opened partially. The car kind of like looked like it panicked a little bit, but I mean, besides that little braking, handled perfectly. Again, I kind of think of things on, sure, it's a little awkward, but was it safe? And it's not like, you know, the car was trying to drive in front of somebody or something. So I'll take it. That was not bad. So definitely not our turn. You can see the other person's highlighted in blue. They're waiting for a pedestrian over there. Complete stop and continue. Very nice, feels great. So let it get in the parking lot. Sometimes parking lots are still sketch. They're much better than they used to be. The car can successfully sometimes navigate parking lots, but not always. So let's see how it does. We have a jogger. I think we have plenty of time to, yeah, they're stopping anyway, to turn in front of them. So nicely handled. And are you going to turn into this one or the next one? Looks like the next one. Yep, that's the plan. Look at that planned route. The planning tentacle is also like looking really good these days. There's just so many aspects of this that used to be like all over the place and now just handle so well. So we're in the parking lot. So this is an instance where now the car needs to be able to like, so I could put it in reverse and it would probably auto park right here if like this was my actual destination. But as of now, again, at this point in the drive, the human needs to take over and kind of finish up what they're doing. So now we're pointing into the parking lot. I'm curious what the car is going to do with this because it needs to get out. So it does have a plan. It looks like it wants to turn right here at the stop sign. So it'll make a complete stop. Interesting stop sign placement, by the way. And let's see. So I've never had the car do this before. I've never really tried this or attempted it. I mean, beautiful. We're now pointing out of the parking lot. So it navigated out of the parking lot, and you know, we didn't successfully get out yet, but at this point it looks like we're going to do a good job. So this is a really nice speed. Even though the max is 19, we're going about 15. It feels perfect. This is the perfect speed. I think like 8 would be too low. Any more than 15 is going to be too high. So what it's doing in a parking lot right now in this exact scenario is great. So we have left turn. It's pretty hard for me to see back there. I have to turn all the way around, but it's clear. Beautifully handled. This positioning, going up to the stop sign, stopping. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's feeling so, so good. Things are progressing very nicely. All right, another 4-way stop. It's our turn after this person. And we should just go. We hit the 0. Very nice. Everything about that feels good. Turn signal is great. It's not turning on and off. I do sometimes still have some weird turn signals, of course, but they are much better behaved than they were in the past, even though they still do some weird things sometimes. So typical, the person does not stop. That's pretty normal. Humans usually roll their stops, and Beta handles it well. Just kind of lets them take the lead. We need to move around this truck. You can see it's already planned to move around. Awesome. Very, very good. Used to be something Beta would definitely get confused by occasionally, thinking it needed to wait behind them or something like that, but it's been passing vehicles nicely for a while. So I think some of this road up here is actually closed, but since my destination's here, the car doesn't care. It's going to go over there. So we'll see how it handles that. So nice job. Pretty tight here, but getting in there nicely. So this is like a shared lane with cyclists. We got the green and the car immediately. Oh, okay. That's not what you're supposed to do. So that guy was supposed to turn right and he just cut us off. But Beta handled it very nicely. So that's what's closed. So we're going to turn right here. All right, so we need to make our, oh, we're turning onto that street over there. See, again, with this, I definitely would have turned right here. It's waiting for the pedestrians. It's obviously waiting way too far back. But it has them in blue. So let's see, nobody's behind me. I'm just kind of waiting to see what it does here. So it's proceeding. It's very cautious. It doesn't like that people are in the road right here, but we still have the green. You know what? A little hesitant. I don't blame it at all. I don't blame it one bit. Lots of people in the road. It was being very safe, and it makes the right. So again, that's, I keep saying this. In that instance, I would have taken the right on that first street. That's just where I thought the destination was. The car did not get tripped up by that intersection with kind of two options for a right turn. It picked the right one, no problem. Just some safety hesitation for pedestrians, which we definitely could have drove through there. There was room to drive next to those people, but Beta's just a little too safe. And you know what? With a robot car, I'm fine with that. All right, so this turn signal's pretty dumb because now we're going to turn left at that next one. So we stopped at our stop sign. We're having a little hesitation moving up here. And we'll stop at our next stop sign and then turn. So definitely should not have had the turn signal on before getting here, because people would think we were turning left back there, right? And you don't want to confuse anybody if you don't have to. All right, so we both get here at the same time. They're to the right. I would let them go, and there they go. So now we should go before this person thinks we're not going to go. And see how he never stops. He finally stopped now that he has to because he was waiting for us to move. But Beta doesn't like that. It doesn't like when cars are moving towards you, which, you know, I can understand. But that's the way people drive. You kind of glide through these things, even if you're not supposed to. So a few pedestrians here we'll have to wait for. I think we'll probably wait for the cyclist. Yep, so tiny bit of a hard break there. Oh, and then they don't even cross the road. They don't cross the road. But I would have done the exact same thing waiting for that cyclist, because you don't know which way he's going to go, and he definitely has the right of way. So we'll have to squeeze through here pretty tight. Looks like that truck's going to wait for us. Or maybe they're parking there, I'm not sure. Let's see, we might get a mirror folding action here. Nope, glides right through. I love it. It feels like the car wants to get out of the way. Like it knows it's a tight situation. How it moved through there so quickly and got right up to the stop sign, kind of like to be out of the way. It felt really good. So another good instance there, a little bit of slowing to make sure everybody's safe, and moves right through. So those situations used to result sometimes in pretty hard braking, where the car would kind of get scared and hit the brake really hard to like avoid getting too close. So here's another one. Let's see. So tight street, nice braking, kind of waiting for them to pass by. Same thing here. We'll scoot over a little bit. Oh my gosh, I love when it takes the pocket like that, just scoots out of the way. Bam, and then moves back and continues. Man, that is so impressive. I just love how the car can maneuver around the world like that. So we have a left turn here. To me, that road's closed, so I wouldn't even really be looking over there. But the Tesla is not sure because technically cross traffic doesn't have a stop sign. So obvious to me that the car to the left is going to turn right because they don't have a choice, but it's not obvious to the Tesla. So it waits for them and moves forward. All right, so we changed destinations again pretty much immediately. Is moving through. I am so happy with these loading times. This is how it's supposed to work. Definitely was messed up before. Now things are looking good. And you know what I'll say, when you look around here, all this construction, there's lots of closed roads, and I don't know if it's coincidentally or exactly how it's happening, but we are avoiding all of those closed roads. I am 99% sure from what I've seen in the past that when you have a data connection, the car, as long as the data somewhere, of course, is using map data to figure out, okay, these roads are temporarily closed, we have to find another route. And I've seen that in the past for sure, when my car lost internet connection, it did not avoid a closed road. And then that exact same closed road, it avoided when it had an internet connection. So we got the green. We need to wait for the people in front of us first. Good to scoot forward. They're also waiting for pedestrians, so lots to wait for here. The car is being very patient. You can see the van's highlighted in blue. You need to keep waiting. Yeah, it's their right of way. Everybody's highlighted in blue, and I would cut them off to go, or else you're never going to make it. But the car is just too polite for that. Yep. Nope, and now it's yellow, and we're going to miss this light. So I'm going to push it through here because I've talked about this in the past. When you're in the intersection and it turns yellow or red, you're legally allowed to complete the maneuver. And so we'll count that as an intervention. If I would have left it, the car, I think, would eventually make the turn, but who knows how many lights it's going to miss, and there's people behind me. I don't want to wait that long. So, I don't know. That timidness can sometimes get in your way. I absolutely love that the car is staying to the right here, avoiding all of that traffic that was just on our left, blocking that. I don't know if they're all waiting to turn left or what exactly they're all being backed up for, but the car did great lane selection in that scenario, and we will wait for this red. All right, so sometimes these kind of situations can mess the car up where, see how we're phasing forward, but we're almost like in line with the cars in that lane. We got to move over that way. In the past, not so much common anymore, but the car could get a little freaked out by this. You can see it's already planning to move to the right, so it shouldn't be an issue. The path planner has been really good lately, but we'll see. So this turns green and we need to scoot to the right. Yeah, so no hesitation at all. Nice takeoff. Feels really good. And then got some people in the road, but we're turning right, so the car's not scared. Oh, we're turning right up there. So it's doing a nice job waiting for them. I thought we were going to turn right into this parking lot here, but we're not. So we'll wait for all the pedestrians. Gently move forward. And this is kind of a weird situation. We're in this, I think it's mostly no parking. It's kind of almost courteous to be here so we can be out of the way to the people that want to go straight. Maybe it's not technically correct, but we can proceed now. Car's pretty cautious. They're really close to us, so no biggie. And we will make this right. Awesome. I'm going to take that out and say done. Oh, don't go in the parking lot. There you go. Nice. Look how fast that reroutes. So that's it. That is our drive on 11.4.4 with my new connectivity board. I am very happy that it was finally, oh, look at this little zigzag here. I'm very happy it was finally fixed. It is making the experience so much better. In terms of this drive, we had one disengagement and one intervention, which the numbers are still looking so good. So the disengagement, it's funny because the disengagement is because it was going to go through a red light, and the intervention is because it was not going to go through a red light. So, it's kind of funny how that works out, but obviously the disengagement, no question, that was the wrong thing. The car was going to move through a red light because it thought that the second red light was the red light. Stupid and wrong, and I don't think any human is going to mess that up. You gonna go in front of this guy? I mean, I would. Oh, he's waving. Oh, thank you. All right, cool. That was a Ford Lightning, by the way, which I will be probably trying soon to Blue Cruise. All right, we'll talk about that another time. And then the intervention, very questionable on my end. I think some people, if I would have left it, the car's not doing anything dangerous. It's just mostly an annoying thing, and it would have moved through eventually. But I wanted to move on, and we see how the car kind of responds in those scenarios. So I'm interested in your thoughts on those two interventions, but overall the car's performing very well. Still many things that need to be fixed, like, come on, you didn't know to stop at a red light? Give me a break. But overall, very impressive system. I love using it. I hope you enjoyed this one. Look forward to talking to you down in the comments, and you will see me and Full Self-Driving Beta in the next video. Also, this is a no turn on red, and it's obeying it. So the sign's up there. With the roof cam, you should be able to see it, but if I sit up straight, I cannot see that sign. So, I don't know. Nice job, Beta. Maybe they just turned off right turns on red in Ann Arbor altogether. Who knows?